All right. It is March 27th, 2026. Last week was our 100th
Show.
broadcast.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So for 101, we've got myself, Greg. We've got Art. We have a special guest in the studios today. Keith is from PUDU. Say hi, Keith.
Hey, Greg.
We've got it's going to be a good time today talking about robots and office ready stuff and cool high tech stuff that is not science fiction anymore. But true to the show, let's go over some quick. I know Art's been kind of out of pocket because he's been in Disneyland or Disney World, so it's a
Yeah,
small
Disney
world.
World.
I don't know how you do it, but congratulations. Are the hamburgers really like $12 each?
Oh yeah. Oh
Nice.
yeah. And I figured out from what I spent, I was going through all my receipts today. I've got to sell an extra 32 copy machines next year.
Holy shit. Funny thing is, I know you're not exaggerating.
Probably not. Probably not.
Well,
But I'll start off with
go ahead.
I went there on Wednesday. Took one personal day on Thursday. PTA show started on Friday at Disney Yacht Club. So BTA went the entire first day, all of Friday, and then went half a day on Saturday. After Saturday, I was released. I went over to Disney Springs and stayed there for 6 days with the grandkids and my son and his wife. Quite the week, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I want to get more back to the BTA show. BTA show was well attended. There was about 30, there was a lot of vendors, probably anywhere from 20 to 30 vendors. I didn't count them all.
Oh,
I think I
wow.
got most of their cards. I actually did a video on most of the vendors that I'll be uploading this week to my website and up to our YouTube channel. But the dealer involvement was fantastic. It was had to be anywhere from 25 to 30 dealers. And
Wow.
most of them all came from Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, and Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, which was really really good. And the sweet spot of dealers, anywhere from probably revenue wise, $3 million up to maybe $25 million or something like that. So they had a bunch of talk tracks. They had talk tracks on, of course, MPS. They had the dealer channel, not the dealer channel, the OEM channel. So if you were at ECS in February, it was almost an identical dealer, not dealer, OEM channel or talk track. So they had some interesting talks about what the future may hold for copiers and what they're coming out with. There was some talk about how Ricoh is integrating with Toshiba for the I think it's called the Etria line. But basically the news from if you heard about it at ECS, it was basically the same talk track
Oh,
um, for BTA.
I'm guessing there weren't any robots there.
No robots. No, no. Matter of fact, I was hoping to see some robots at Disney or at
Oh,
least AMRs.
yeah.
I saw none. None.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. But the use cases are all over the place.
All over
Yeah,
the
they
place.
are.
I mean, they're all over the place,
Right.
I
right?
would say yet, and that's going to
Yeah.
be catching on fire.
Actually sweeping the park at night,
Yeah.
right? Would be a big one. The insides of the theaters and the pavilions.
Well, there's definitely use cases, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I went over to Hollywood Studios, and I had never I've been in Hollywood studios before, but I was never into the Star Trek portion of it.
Gotcha.
So I had my first trip into the Star Trek portion of Hollywood Studios, and let's see, everybody I was with has no stomach for sci-fi. So
Oh,
they were giving me the bum's rush to, what are you doing in here? You're spending too much time here. I was
Right.
like, okay.
mm,
So I didn't get to go on any rides, but going on a ride at my age is can be interesting at times.
Wow.
Uh,
Hey,
but,
yeah,
but
go ahead.
no, no, no. So that's about it at BTA. Greg, I'm sure you got a few questions about BTA.
I do. So I think, is this the 100th year
Yeah.
of
This is the
BTA?
100th year, yeah, that they'll be celebrating in Kansas City.
Okay, cool. Well, I've been to a couple BTAs, not quite a few. Right, the layout is the vendors are on the outside of the right, like a U, and then the stage is up there in the crowd. So the vendors
Similar,
all the time. Okay.
similar. This time they had in a one large room, they had the vendors
Oh,
in the back, and then they had all the dealers and speakers actually in the front of it. This year was a little bit different though. They had some additional breakout rooms,
oh,
which they've never had before, which is pretty interesting too, because if you weren't interested in any of the breakouts, that left more time if for the vendors to partner and talk to different dealers who weren't interested in those the breakouts. In the past, all the talk tracks were in the one room. So if you had an hour and 45-minute talk track, basically the vendors would be idle during that talk track. They'd have to
right.
listen to that talk track.
Yeah.
With moving it to different rooms, actually vendors who weren't interested in those talk tracks were basically in dealers who weren't interested were in talking to the vendors. So it was
Okay.
actually, yeah, pretty busy most of the time.
That's cool. Well, let me ask you these questions. So BTA, they've been around for a while. They are the core copier dealers of the industry, is the way I look at it, right? Probably no megas were there. Well, maybe they were. I don't know. What was the temperature on artificial intelligence and robotics, if any? Did you get was there were there conversations art in that direction, or was that not even talked about casually, around?
I think they might have one talk track on
Oh, they did.
artificial intelligence, and if it was in one of the breakout rooms.
Hmm.
And I didn't go to most of the breakout rooms. I was in with the vendors, meeting with the dealers, talking to dealers, talking to third party, vendors, talking to affiliates. But I had a lot of good talk tracks with probably half a dozen dealers who were interested in what we're doing with crickets. Word gets around pretty quickly.
Good. Well, and it's a temperature check because I have to admit, since ECS, which was only
2 months.
2 months ago.
2 months, honestly, the buzz around the robots in our little niche, and I mean little niche, is actually it's pretty high right now. I mean, and I don't want to give anything away, but I think there's at least five that I know of dealers that are already in or seriously down the path with PUDU, right? I mean, and that's if we say that we got started in November, which is being nice because that's when when the Twain group was when we first went public.
Well,
Or
that's when we launched our
yeah,
POC. Right.
that's not even a year. And it's so I guess my point here is that's why I was asking about the BTA channel, right? By Kansas, I would imagine it will be a very hot subject. It's so natural now for people. I don't know if you remember, man, like just in June and July and May and April of last year, we were just, is this even a good idea? Are we
Yes.
crazy? Is this nuts? And it's, I'm not patting anyone on the back, but it's actually on it's not on fire yet, but it certainly is. Someone has lit the match and people are looking and actually making motion on it. I think this one's going to stick more than 3D, maybe just as well as water. Water is very communicable, but it's not the techie stuff that we. And I look forward to more of the mega dealers getting in and doing this. They may not work with crickets, but that's okay. I mean, any what's Mike's
Buzz.
right? Yeah. All rising tide raises all boats. So
Yep.
this is what this is all about. So
As
anyway, that's a great segue back into Keith. Keith, give us a quick, brief intro of you, PUDU, your maybe a
Yeah.
quick thumbnail on the go-to-market and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I've been in robotics for about 8 years. The sales director for the United States for PUDU, PUDU Robotics. We're based out of Shenzhen, China, but we have a United States division out here. Our focus is getting all different type of channels and suppliers. We work indirectly actually right now. So working indirectly, right, means we're going to be working through the distribution network of ours. So we're looking to grow that, bring on as best partners, as good as partners as we possibly can find out there. And right, I mean, the new
Mhm.
technology that we have and we're bringing on is seems like it's happening week by week. There's a new robot that we're talking about here,
Yeah.
and which is a great thing, right? So it keeps us on our toes. It's in an evolving industry, I would say, right now, right? But
Yeah.
8 years ago when I got into robotics, it was I like to think of it, it was like the iPod 1, right? I mean, it's just evolved so much in reliability now and people can actually trust the robots. So it's
Yeah.
gone a very fun direction of where we are taking place right now in this industry.
It's pretty cool. And to go back to ECS, and I probably told both you guys the story, but I'll just say it again. Where your robot was out in the area where there was tile and it was a high traffic area, lots of people pushing big carts of food and
Yep.
tables and every in multi directions, everything. And your robot was there moving amongst this now I wouldn't even call it chaos, but this dynamic environment with people and trays and equipment, and nobody gave it a second look. It blended in. It did
Right?
it still had its mission, right? I'm going to clean, and then but then it made adjustments and it went back to the mission. But no
Yeah.
one was like getting run over or kicking it or even notice, which that to me was like, all right, this is pretty good. When people can just
Right?
walk, be on their phone or looking up in the sky and not even care about anything and not run into it and it didn't run into them or whatever, didn't even notice it. So like when it blends into society, that's
Yeah.
seamless. Like,
Because our adoption is there now, right?
yeah,
It's
boom.
that allows us to scale into companies and grow rather than like 3 5 years ago you were still in the I'll try one and we'll see how this works, right? And it's a very slow scaling process when it was that where now we can you go to a quick trip and you see our units there, or there's at a sushi restaurant and you see the delivery bots there. It's just starting to be more and more accustomed, like in the United States, to like people are getting more comfortable with these type of robots rather than it's the first time they've ever seen this. So
Right. Yeah. That's right. And very, very interesting. I mean, there's much more to talk about, but I want to, so you guys just, and I really want to talk about because I read the press release. I know a little bit about it, but I want to learn more about this unit that you just brought out. It's a bigger it looks heftier.
it is. It's
Oh.
a yeah. So last was it the 25th, but last Friday we actually launched. Yeah, last Friday we actually launched the a little sneak peek of it where we did a little presentation for some of our dealers. But also on the 25th, we dropped the video, the specs of the unit that's out right now. So pre-orders will be coming. It's called the BG1 series. So there's going to be, I think, three different types of them. It's a AI scrubber sweeper. Real cool features on it where the aids to the reporting, to the object detection, how it's doing different types of cleanings based on the objects it sees and recognizes. So, I mean, what it does is really why it's so exciting for us because we always had the 4-in-1, right? We had the CC1 Pro, which was the smaller scrubber sweeper vacuum mop, right? So
Mhm.
that's a great robot for all front of the house type of things. But I mean, I'm 100% honest, right? There's other robots that are out there. I'm like full when I work with our customers, I'm fully transparent and open with them on this. And one of the things I'm always open with them, like, you're right, we don't have a bigger unit right now, right? So it might be easier for them to manage two bigger robots rather than 16 of our little ones, right? So this now having a bigger unit now and with the new AI features in it, I think it sets itself apart big time in the industry.
Yeah.
But for us in the market, it ties the whole cleaning thing together now for us. Um, which like instead of like only being able to be into smaller airports, now we can be in the big airports, right? That need the bigger they're going to require a bigger unit. Or now where there's bigger square footages, that sometimes we might get left out of the conversation and sometimes not.
Mhm.
This now allows us to always be in those convos with our product line. No.
So I mean, for someone who's not familiar with it, it's a cleaning unit.
Yep.
There's a lot to talk about here. So it's a cleaning robot that has brushes and sweepers that sweep up
Yep.
stuff, right? But what I was so the unit you just brought out when you say AI, it no, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but
Right. I don't know if I'm saying it yet too. I'm not fully
I love
trained on it,
it. All
so.
right, well then I saw the demo. It looks like it recognizes what it's heading into, and
Correct. So it
okay,
has the AI object detection and like visualization.
so it can tell between wet and dry. I did pick
Correct.
that up. Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the reporting is going to show that too on the heat maps also.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So wow. So we can see high spillage areas and
Yep.
high.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, and I'll press you a little bit on this. If you don't know, that's fine. But so the reporting, do you know much about that? What's coming back? How is that working? How proprietary is that piece?
Yeah, so I mean, I love the reporting piece.
Okay.
Every distributor has their own dashboard for like more of a little bit of like fleet management, if you know what I mean,
Right.
on
Yeah.
it. They can hand that down some the for the each when we say a store, that's pretty much a company underneath them. So they can see that's pretty much the end user is going to be using this. Um, the reporting is. Like you're gonna see obviously the square footage, you're gonna see the runtime, the if there's stops or alerts that popped up on there, and then you're also we have a cool thing where it's actually gonna show the ROI on it on the dashboard. If you plug in the wages, you can see the water saved, because our units we do focus on that a lot. So it'll show a calculation of all those type of things. On the unit itself, on the CC1, the MT1s. You can now see the AI heat maps and the stains on there, so someone can see if it missed a spot or if there's like a spot that is still not cleaned yet and has to go over multiple times. You can see like the MT1 and the CC1 can now. So that the MT1 is the sweeper we have. The CC1 is the like the little scrubber we have, but those can now communicate to each other, right? So if the MT1 sees or it's a wet spot, it can communicate to the CC1 that it had to like dispatch out.
Hold on.
Yeah,
So we've got a fleet or
like almost like a swarm.
right, a swarm of five or let's say five. Keep it
Yeah,
simple. Five devices. These are dry. These are wet. If a dry comes apart up across a wet that it can't handle, it can send a message to the other ones to
yeah,
come.
yeah. Like I've seen them and they go like side by side working together. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see where the technology is going. And some of our users are really pushing the limits on it too, right? So they take full like ownage of this, and they really, they're trying to figure out all the ways to almost break it, if you know what I mean. But
Oh yeah, we know it. We know all about that. Yeah.
but they're really pushing the limits, and I respect that too because they're going to push the limits on, how well it provides great feedback for us and for R&D, and then like I love the market feedback. What's working? What's not working? How can we
Yeah.
get better? Right, and always helping us to continuously improve.
Wow. So, all right, there's a lot here. Communication between the devices. That's pretty
So I've
cool.
got a question for you, Keith. How does the
Yeah,
AI integrate? How does that work with the new PG one?
the BG ones. So let's see the AI pieces. The AI when I said the object detection on
Right.
there. So the object, so what you're going to see on there is it's going to recognize some of the like because it has the sweeper inside. If it is a wet spot, it's not going to sweep. It will actually pull the sweeper up, and then it'll
Okay.
it'll do the scrubbing for that.
Okay.
On object detection. I'd have to see a couple of the other AI pieces that I'm seeing in there that are like more unique than what we don't have with the CC1 right now. Like I said, it just launched. I mean,
Well, yeah. But so yeah, I've got the video and I've watched it, and it's chock full of stuff. But
yeah,
you got to know what you're looking at. So the AI is. I did not know about the interfleet communication. Although I'm remembering somebody saying something about it, that is cool. But the ability for it to see wet and it picks up its thingamajiggers and puts down the squeegee,
yeah,
lack of a better word, right? Picks that up and then it moves on. And it's huge and it's big. But that's the water reservoir and the wastewater too. So whatever it's
correct.
picking up. and then like most of like your other units, it finds its recharge
Yeah,
area,
the docking station. I'll
the
go back
docking
to.
station. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there, if it's plumbed in and it
Yep.
right, replenish
Yep.
it disposes and replenishes, right? Is that
Correct. Yeah, it
so?
makes it really easy.
So here's the, like here's a little personal reflection. So of all the things I didn't think about we'd be talking about a year ago would be cleaning and sweeping and doing that stuff. You know,
Well,
and it
and
was
to go and to go like on your guys' like talk track on what you just said right there, I said the same thing too. And last June, I remember telling the person who we have that runs the Southeast, and
Mhm.
I was like, I feel like there's suppliers that we're missing right here. And we were going back and forth. He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I feel there's an opportunity to start working with the office supply solutions or suppliers companies that are out there." And
Mhm.
he's like, "Yeah, I think it could be a good fit." I was like, "They're set up so perfectly to work with us." And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, literally, in within 3 months, we
That's I
got
know.
we got people reaching out to us. And I was like, I told you. I don't know what it was, if it was like LinkedIn like tracked me of where it was all going, but we got like random like a couple leads that came in. There are some of our best distributors we have right now and
Yeah.
partners are people in this space. And I love it. It's been great for us because you got the technology mindset, you got the service team right off the bat, you
Yep.
have the transportation of the units, and you have trained sales reps already, right? So I don't want to say it's that easy, right? As a plug and play, but it can be the transition to getting somebody up and running is very more efficient. We're going to use that word.
Yeah, that's a good word though, because in the we've had other quote revolutions and things where people came into the industry or outside it, not people came,
Yeah.
but when we were looking for things that were like, okay, this is a perfect plugin, and learned early that there's no such thing as a perfect plugin, first off. So um
Right.
but this is very parallel. We're talking to speaking to the choir here, but this is very parallel to what we're doing and have been doing for 30, 40 years. So
Yeah.
it's a good fit, but it is not an identical fit, which is
Yeah.
good though too. So there's some weird expansion. I think what I noticed about the video that you had that was shared is there are visions of guys pulling parts and plugging parts into this device. I don't know what they were. Side.
I'm watching it right now. Yeah, it's
Okay.
the edge sweeper and the
The brushes.
yeah, and the brushes.
No.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, I can see our guys doing something with. I mean, again, I'm not service. I'm more sales, but I do know a little bit about service. But yeah, okay. So now there are parts in there that need replacement, that need service, that fits,
Yep.
that fits, that fits. You're talking about some sort of connectivity that exists right now, and obviously everyone in our industry is going, all right. So how can we drop how come you said it linear feet? All right, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bill on the usage on, and again, whatever that is at the end of the
Yeah.
day. But that's where we want to go. What cracks me, it doesn't crack me up, but I mean, first off, what attracts most people into robots is the humanoids, right? The dancing, the kung fu playing.
Exactly. Right.
That's fine and dandy. That's not
Correct.
real, right? That is not real. Okay, let's get real. Then we were talking about moving materials in the warehouse with the other products that you guys have, which is that we can handle. The
Yep.
small trays, not the small trays, but the AMRs that can move, biopharmaceuticals, lightware like that.
Yep.
That's reality. But now we're talking about cleaning devices. But then I'm reminded that that's what this industry does. We do the stuff that no one even like thinks about, or if they do, they don't want to do it
Right.
because
I mean,
no one
right
wants to
there.
go ahead
Spot
and
on.
no one wakes up and says, I want to sell copiers for the rest of my life. Do they are?
Hmm. For the rest of their life? Not so sure about that.
I know we fall into it, right? And then it ends up being okay. This is pretty cool. This is pretty. Oh, okay. This is really cool. So I mean, it's a perfect time, I think. Anyway, I'm getting idealistic. So okay, well, so the BG1, right?
Yep.
BG1. It's announced. I mean, what's the time frame before it hits the shore and all that stuff?
Yeah, so we'll have pre-orders that are taking place right now. Those will be arriving most likely end of April.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, for the first orders, mass distribution will probably be happening in the month of June. Yeah.
okay.
MSRP?
I don't know that just yet.
Okay. And I see it's got a ride along option as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, you want to, I don't know if people really want to hear about that, but it's great because it allows some people to transition in automation, right? If, especially if, like, there's people that have used the Karcher and like the chariots were pretty big.
Well,
Yeah,
wait, back up. What do you mean by ride along? What does that mean, Art?
It's
Human
got a
on
little
board?
it's got a tail platform behind
Oh,
it.
for someone to stand.
Somebody
yeah,
can actually stand and hold on to it. And PUDU makes reference to that. It's actually great feature for
yeah.
mapping.
That's what I figured it was for more the mapping piece more than anything,
Right.
Oh,
rather than being like pushing. I think what Pudu does as a whole in our company with the R&D, we don't really, we're not really, we're very secretive of our technology that comes out, right? Like I didn't really even know too much about the BG1, realistically. But one of the things they do is they're never really, it's never first, which is okay to
no,
market.
that's
And so it's almost like they listen, they we sit back and then we create what the market's like telling us to create. And I really think that's a smart approach on this, and what we've been seeing.
yeah.
It's just allowing, more of a complete solution, rather than like having to keep tacking on and trailing and trailing and trailing because we were first to market, right? So this allows us to see what the market wants and then go and create that exact solution.
Cool, cool. Well, okay. Well, speaking of marketing, and it's getting real boring here. What is the current go-to-market approach for the U.S. market? I mean, and basic. You mentioned you had a coverage on Southeast. How are you guys going to market here in the U.S.? What's the plan that you can share with?
What I can share with you on this. Our go-to-market strategy is we're going through our partners. So we do a little bit of both. I'd almost say it's like a hybrid model. So we work with our partners, and those distributors, right, are helping us move product throughout the United States. We have warehouses for parts, and our units are actually in Los Angeles and in New Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah, we have now. We're actually going to have April 23rd. We have a opening for our new headquarters, which will be the U.S. headquarters in Dallas.
Nice.
So that is a great thing too. We'll be centralized, and it's right down the street from my house, which makes it a lot easier too.
hmm. And they
Uh,
listen to you. That's good.
yeah, so it's we're very excited on that. We'll have the BG1 there. Will also have the BG1 at Modex, along with our quadruped dog. Will also be there too.
Okay. All
So
right.
that's
So
exciting for us.
I want to talk about that, but hold that to the
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
you've got two DCs, East and West Coast. That's important.
correct. So now when I first got here, we only had Los Angeles, and now we have the one in New Jersey also now. Who I am in the industry is anybody can sell one unit, right? How do you scale? How do we get a distributor to sell 200 units, 500 units, 50, whatever the number is, right?
Mhm.
But like our big thing is, is the follow up, the after sale policy, right? Right is the really is the service, the support that we can provide, right? And so having parts like easily accessible, huge win for us. That if we can do that on demand anytime. So we
Mhm.
just keep tweaking it a little bit more and more, trying to tighten everything up in the United States as much as possible. We're trying to not. We're looking for partners. We're not looking to have, what I mean. Every house on the street selling Pudu, right? We want to have each distributor to be able to have resellers underneath them, or like for redistribution. I want them to have their own territories, be able to map this out in a structure across the country that is very fair, profitable, and efficient for everybody. So we're looking for anybody who's a supplier, realistically, right? So if and has the type of partners that we're looking for. We're very big into the, I would say, Jansan, the office
Right.
solution. What else? We restaurant suppliers, material handlings right now. So there's a lot of different pieces that are all starting to take place here and take shape for us. And what's so great is we don't just have to focus in Jansan, right? Because we have a full line of robots and our technology keeps evolving, right? In this like ecosystem that we can create, right? That
Yeah.
is not just one type of robot. We can sell into a hotel that has, the T300 that's carrying linens to food delivery to room service to cleaning, right? And we can sell 5 or 6 different type of robots to a hotel rather than just focusing in one area, which
Well, I mean, if I can be a little self-centered, I mean that the continuum motion is that we feel, and I know you share this, is that the copier dealers are set to do just that,
exactly.
and without a big yank in terms of heavy, gosh, the learning curve isn't that big either. I mean, it
I
really
know.
isn't. So, but I should say this: obviously we know how to sell stuff, and I've said this, told Art this all the time. If you can sell copiers, you can sell anything. Period. In B2B.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why rather than like doing random demos or anything, we find people in your guys' industry, they have the sales methodology, right?
Yep.
And that is huge right now. I want solution selling and value selling rather than, just showing a robot run around and it's a dog and
Yeah.
pony show.
Yeah. Well, there's right now, or maybe we might be moving out of that phase where the dog and pony show sold it, right? Because what's that? That's brand new. Gets it, but
Yeah.
it's got to evolve into something better. And that's
Yeah.
like if you think about copiers, right? I mean, we could have stopped that. It's just a copier, and actually millions of people sold a lot of copiers and put a lot of people, served a lot of families throughout decades. But there's always been more in terms of how we approach. It's not a copier as much as it's a piece of office technology that helps you do more.
Yeah.
So that's perfect for us. But what I wanted to concentrate on is what I think I heard you say about the parts. So, because
Yep.
yes, we know how to sell, but our real magic is after the sale. Like,
For
and I
sure.
just had this conversation with a bunch of guys earlier today. Yeah, we sell, but we're really making money on the cost side, right?
Correct.
We're managing our costs, if not reducing our costs as the contract evolves. So tell me
Yeah.
a little bit more about the service side of your business. You mentioned you have
Yeah.
go ahead.
So we work with our distributors, all of our distributors, right? We will train on the not only the sales and marketing side of the robots, but how to service and support them, right? And I mean that's a big thing. So the industry that you guys are so good in right now is you guys love the after sale part, right? You love the consumables, right? Which
Yes.
continues to grow more profit for you guys, and then also the actual support of being on site, right, with somebody. So, having preventative maintenance plans, we work with the distributors if they need any help on that and like any recommendation, or we can provide it ourselves if somebody doesn't have that built into their company.
Mhm.
We can provide the service. So yeah, it's a fun area and it's exciting having the conversation um, with people who've sold copiers before because they love the fact that they continue to not only talk to the customer about the consumables and what else do they need to reorder, right? It's always getting another at bat, essentially to talk to any decision makers too.
Yep.
So it's a great fit in regards to that. Um,
Yeah.
and I just think that I mean, and I'm a firm believer of that support and service is needed, right? Like that's what we demand in the United States, and that's how we buy, right? We do need a little bit more hand holding, right, on this, but it does help us in the long run, right? That's how we really develop partnerships, right? Because it's just like a relationship. There's going to be a bump in the road.
Yeah.
There's going to be a robot that breaks or whatever. It's how we respond and how we fix this, right? So I think with our robots, the reliability's there. I mean, there's always going to be stuff that happens with them. It's just like anything, just like a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and in this gee whiz, Art, have any of your machines ever broken when you didn't expect them to break?
No, never,
Never.
ever,
See? Yeah,
never.
never.
No,
Right?
no.
Um,
Murphy's Law, right?
right.
I'm going over all the consumables here on the BG1, and I'm
Yeah.
absolutely love it. 3 different types of scrubbing, disc brushes, a variety of different blades, scrubbing pads, side brush, um, sweeping roller brush, trash bin. Uh, it's almost got as much consumables as a copier. You look at
Well,
toner, developer,
It's got a waste toner
drums.
bottle.
This is a waste toner bottle. Um, Might have a few more consumables than a regular copier.
You're right. I mean, yeah, look at you. I didn't even think about all that. Yeah. Yeah. So, wow.
And
Okay.
what we're doing now is we're doing bundles for these. We're doing packaging them for 6 months or a year, with all the bots. So
So
we're not even.
what's the
I don't. I'd rather. It just helps buying and purchasing a little bit easier if we can bundle all those together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we would recommend is to take a look at bundling those for dealers,
Yep.
our dealers, right? So that they know what the cost is. This we don't need to talk about it here, but
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah. But it's just good to hear that it's there,
Yep.
right? You have no idea. All right, good. Well, I mean, we could talk forever on this. I'd love to. I like what you said about the go-to-market. It's very encouraging to hear a DC in LA, in New Jersey, and then headquarters in Dallas because
Yep.
we're swerving up on the offshore manufacturing versus everything else in the world, right? So
Yep.
that's one of the, when we look at OEMs like you guys, that's one of the things that we strongly consider, and it's more supply chain than anything else. So if we
Correct.
see commitment like that in the US, in theory, if there's a challenge with supply chain, let's say COVID as an example, in theory, there's still some stock here in the States.
100%. And that's definitely how we don't ever want to get caught in like you said with COVID like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell me about now. We talked about humanoids being something in the future. I have a whole discussion track around that, but I don't want to go there. We talked about the cleaning things, which is just amazes me. But you mentioned it. What's the dog?
So the
Tell me
dog
about.
is a new one.
Yeah.
I think we're calling it. I think it's the D5. The D5 is a quadruped. Kind of looks like the dog, right?
Okay.
In robots, and what it is going to be great for, I think it's going to be has a little bit of a delivery aspect to it. But then there's another piece on it which I'm super excited on. Would probably be the inspection and security. So it's all the software is still continuously getting built right now. I've never seen it so far, so I'll be able to
Okay.
see it in Atlanta at the Modex show. I'm excited to see BG1 and that one live in action. So I think that helps. I mean, that is a humongous fit, the D5 dog in the
I
industry.
I know of dealers in our industry that are looking at that. I know it's very preliminary as a delivery assistant of some sort because the payload I think was pretty heavy, wasn't it?
I want to say it was about 45,
Okay.
Yeah,
60
yeah,
pounds.
I remember it being enough for a laser printer, if I remember correctly, which we could see if you had a campus install,
right.
the van parks in the parking lot near the dock, and you throw it on the quadruped and walk it over to science. What we liked about it, again, it's a demo, is it walked up steps.
Yep.
So, which is a big deal as opposed to a two-wheeler or a step climber. I mean, if it, hopefully there's going to be some that have a heavier payload, but I know we had dealers that were interested in that aspect alone just because of that, let alone the security thing, because that in theory you could almost dual purpose it, I guess. I don't know. So okay, now
Yeah.
that doesn't exist or it will or
I don't know on this. I'm not, I don't know too much on this, where this technology is going.
I,
I've seen, when I think of inspection, I'm thinking more with oil and gas. And then I'm also thinking inspection and also manufacturing. But then
yeah,
also security, I look at it. I mean, it's pretty much for any corporate campus, any university, warehousing. But also if it's for security, I think it could be something where um, it's kind of getting it's working with us like a software piece where it's letting people know that a door is ajar. There is
right.
like at the hotel or something, that the back door is wide open, or you know something like that,
Yeah,
right? That
yeah.
where it can be.
Observe and report kind of stuff.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. It's too bad Kevin's not here because he has experience, and I forget what quadruped ped they were working. We remember Art, but they were inspecting nuclear.
Palo Alto nuclear plant.
Yeah, the nuclear plant. So
Yep.
which made sense, right? You can send that thing in to where it's
Sure.
control
Yeah,
or
that's a
like,
great play.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I forget who but
And how about just, I mean, just came to mind already, just security in parking garages.
oh
I think that's a great fit too.
Somebody has a health emergency,
One of
right?
the every single time we've brought up the quadruped, and I don't even know what I'm selling as of today yet, if you know what I mean.
no
But
no we do
when I
we do
bring
it
up
all the
the
time.
theory of it, every single like facilities manager facilities director will always talk about any of the, like you said, exactly for roaming for the parking structures. So any colleges, any hospitals, I mean, they look at it and they're like, we would love another body, quote, quote, right? We
Oh,
don't, they don't have the labor. They don't have
right.
bodies to fill this position,
The escorts.
right?
That's, I mean, just to go from class to, remember the co-eds, this has happened over the 70s, 80s, and 90s. There's always been some sort of threat. The poor co-eds walking from class to their car in the
Yeah,
parking
right?
structure, unescorted. I mean, even when I was in college, you could call for one of my fraternity brothers would escort people back, ladies back from their class to their car or their dorm. Well, the
Yeah,
quadruped could do that. I mean, it can't, it would observe and report and maybe do more, but wow. Okay, that's an impact that is personal.
yeah. And so,
All it's got to do is work once,
right? I
and
mean, and then I think I saw Amazon just bought one,
yeah,
bought a company out, a quadruped dog. So I'm interested to see that use case, or what if maybe if they even share it down the road, of how they're going to use theirs.
it's very interesting. But that falls into one of our platform or our planks of our platform is to help our dealers sustain their legacy, right?
Yeah,
So today we're starting with cleaning robots that are smart enough to know the difference between dust and liquid. Okay, then tomorrow we're installing security bots that are going to help co-eds feel safe about going back
right.
to the car. You can't beat that. You can, come on.
Well, I
And
mean,
then
just look at where we're coming from. Like, so we said cleaning, right, nonstop, but we have these emerging markets that have literally come out of nowhere that we didn't know, and
out
like
of nowhere.
environments that people are like, why doesn't it work in there? And I'm like, you're right. Why does it not work in
It
there? It should
does.
work in there.
Yeah.
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 That we never accounted for a year ago. So it's great to see people take full ownership and really, like I say, push the limits and push the boundaries.
I am fully confident that this industry will do just that 100x. Our
They
guys are
Right.
will
crazy. Our guys are
they
nuts.
yeah,
They'll see
they will
something.
find different applications that probably the manufacturer didn't even think about.
Oh, like, and,
Yep.
and they'll do it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is like, look what we just did. Well, I didn't think you could put a laser on that thing, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Keith, I want to go back to something you mentioned about I want to get sales of 5 or 10 or 20, 50 units at a time.
Yeah.
The thing you always got to remind dealers is it takes as much effort to sell 1 unit as it does 5 or 10 units,
Now we're talking.
right?
Art, I would say sometimes less because the 5 or 10 or 50 units, guys, they're serious about it. The onesie twosies are,
There's not, and there could not be as many players in the 5 to 10 or units as there are many players in the onesies and twosies.
I
Right,
love them, but I always go back to churches, right? I
right.
mean, the brand new Rico color machine is going to take 6 months to make a decision because it's got to go through
Yeah.
3 committees and all that stuff. The 50 units down the street, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the variety of products that you're offering right now, from warehouse to Janssen to AMRs, the T300 to T600. I looked up and the BG1 weighs 800, almost 800 pounds.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah,
It's an
yeah.
edge line.
Pretty incredible. And as years ago when Xerox first came out with their copiers,
Yeah.
um, people used to the word was they became so popular, the Xerox machines as copiers. Someone would run over to an assistant and say, "Hey, go Xerox this for me." I
Like
can
Kleenex.
Exactly.
Kleenex, yes. I can say the PUDU
Go
is
PUDU this.
is yes is right there with just about being the Kleenex or the Xerox.
I mean, working with like partners like your guys itself, like this is a bit really big year for PUDU. Um, and we're very excited. There's a lot of things on the horizon for us. Getting the word out more. I think we got over 110,000 bots in the world already. So the United States is just growing and growing, and the market's ready right now for us. So it's very exciting times.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I agree. Well, Keith, I want to thank you very much for being on the show today. Um, I learned a hell of a lot going back between the PD, the PUDU D5 and the BG1 and hearing everything you've got to say about it. Usually when we get to 5 o'clock, we it's basically the witching hour for us. We're ready
Right.
for the weekend already.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I would
Greg,
say, Art, like, if anyone's interested, seriously, what is it? You hit us up, DM us, get us on LinkedIn, all three of us. This is a good time to get in.
right,
I mean, I've been through this 5 or 6 or 7 different times since 1999. This one, MPS was good. This one is the one, I think. I mean, I've had a lot of things that didn't work out, but this thing seems to have a freaking tail and a lot of momentum behind it. There's plenty of room for everyone. That's another thing.
I
A
agree.
lot of meat on the bone.
And the
Lot.
first adopters will do very, very well, right? All right. So everyone, I want to thank you very much. It's 5 o'clock. Remember, if you're interested in PUDU, they're on LinkedIn. They're all over LinkedIn. You can catch up with them there. Just tell them you saw the Crickets show, and they'll be happy to connect with you, or either reach out to Greg or reach out to myself, and we'll be happy to pass the information along. Thanks, everyone. We appreciate the show, and we'll see you next week.